I look like Dolly Parton. Hello everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Jennea. I'm an emotional wellness advocate, a writer, a public speaker. I have a documentary called Loud Crazy Love. It's available on all digital platforms. I can't believe I just did that in one take. So if you've been following my channel, you know that I am in a series about loss of a parent and how that affects kids' mental health, as well as adults, but mainly kids and their development. This series was inspired by Mental Health Awareness Month, which is this month, if you didn't know. So week 1 was just the intro and just sharing my heart and my passion for mental health and emotional wellness. Week 2 was explaining what loss of a parent even means, and I explained my personal experience with losing a parent and how that affected my development as a kid. If you haven't seen those, I would highly suggest you do. This will make way more sense, so I will link them. So this week is week 3, and I'm going to talk about how loss of a parent affected my adolescence, teenhood, tweenhood, and adulthood. Last week I talked about how my parents got divorced when I was 3, and how I didn't really see my dad much from 0 to 3, and then my mom walked out when I was 2.5, and how not being able to fully bond with them led me to having symptoms of attachment disorder. Let me pull up the definition of attachment disorder. Attachment disorder, by definition, is a broad term that describes disorders of mood, behavior, and social relationships due to lack of normal care and attention from primary caregivers in an early childhood. Basically what it's saying is that if you don't bond with one or more parent as a kid, that can affect your mood, your emotional stability, your mental health, and your social relationships. So when I was little, I was experiencing everything for the first time. I was experiencing my first high, my first low, so I didn't know any different. So when I hit 11 or 12, that was 6th, 7th grade. Ugh, what a horrible time. If you're in 6th and 7th grade, hold on, it gets better. And if you love it, do your thing, but ooh, middle school ain't it. So when I hit 11 or 12 years old, I started to feel the pain and I started to reflect on the things that I went through as a kid. It started to hurt. Instead of just me going through the motions, I looked back and said, that wasn't fair, that was wrong, that really hurt me. So when I was 11 or 12, I started to have symptoms of depression, little things like sleeping until 1 p.m., staying up all night, binge eating, not eating. I would have periods where I was just emotionally distraught and couldn't even handle my own anything. I was depressed, anxious, had extreme social anxiety. Oh my gosh, every time I would pass someone in school, it was like, oh my god, I wonder if I look okay. Oh my gosh, I wonder if they think I look stupid. Oh my gosh, I wonder if I was so concerned with what people thought of me. I had so much anxiety connecting to people and making friends because of things that I couldn't even really understand yet, which was me not bonding with my mom or dad, which gave me social anxiety. I saw multiple counselors from 12 to 14 years old, probably like 3 or 4 in that span of 2 years. Some of them would help for a little bit and would kind of put a band-aid on things, but then I would go back to my old coping mechanisms. Seeing a counselor and a therapist didn't work for multiple reasons. One, why would I tell a complete stranger my personal life and my personal deep feelings that I haven't told anyone? 2, the pain was comfortable. It was all I knew, so I almost didn't want to change. And my pain got me attention. When people talk about, oh, they just want attention, oh, they're doing it for attention, oh, they're attention seeking, that's not a bad thing. There's this bad connotation to it, but all it means is that you need attention. It means that you're not getting your needs met. I wasn't getting my needs met, and I hadn't since I was a baby. Me showing symptoms of depression got me attention and got my dad to pay more attention to me. So it was like this subconscious thing of, oh, when I have this problem, I get more attention and I get more love. So I'm gonna keep doing it. Because when I get better, things are just gonna be normal and I'm not gonna get the attention that I want. And number 3, I would want help so bad, but then when I realized what it took, I didn't want it anymore. But really, I think I was just a kid and I didn't have the maturity to realize, oh, I can get love from other places. This pain is comfortable, but there's a more comfortable place I can be that I can get love and security. So when I was 14, I went to Awakening Youth, which is a boarding school, but not really a boarding school. It was more like a getaway retreat for girls 13 to 23. And basically, we just lived in a big old house and did life together. We did school together, we had lunch together, we had dinner together, we did chores together. We had our night routine together, our morning routine together. We had group where basically we could come around and talk about things that bothered us, or if we had any problems or concerns even in the group, and we could talk about them in a healthy way and learn how to have better social skills and conflict management. We had individual counseling. We had amazing staff who helped us along the way and helped from every single aspect of our lives. These girls came from all different backgrounds, all different ethnicities, all different nationalities, all different walks of life. The model that Awakening uses, they basically create an experience for each girl for them to go through the emotions of the things that they usually deal with on a daily basis, and they learn healthy coping skills to deal with those things as they go through life, and they learn how to heal from things that they experienced in the past. They have multiple layered ways that help kids relearn how to bond and learn how to love themselves and be more confident in themselves and happy again. But one of those things is self-care. They are so passionate about self-care. Having a daily routine, it changed my life. I had never had a routine before. I never had consistency like that before, and having that taught me how to take care of myself, why I should even take care of myself, what's the proper way. Those things I learned at Awakening I still use to this day. I believe in the model so much because it literally changed my life. I did not want to live anymore. I did not care about me. I didn't care about anybody else. I felt totally isolated and I wanted to unplug, and it felt like there was no other way that I would be comfortable. Dude, I love life. I'm 21 years old. I'm so passionate about young people and mental health and emotional wellness. Almost done with school. I'm gonna finish my bachelor's degree in creative writing. I never thought I'd finish high school. The two key points that saved my life essentially was learning self-care and acknowledging my loss of a parent and how that affected my childhood. Hitting that root, it made me understand why I was feeling the way I felt. It hurt so bad, and there were times when I was younger that it was too much and I just wasn't ready for it. But once I slowly got into it and I peeled back layers and layers, I think I still am, but I never understood myself so much more in my life. My generation has the most divorced parents or single parent households ever, and our rates and our depression rates are higher than they've ever been. Bonding is sometimes missed and undervalued in mental health. In my personal experience, in my emotional wellness journey, if you don't acknowledge a loss of a parent in your life, you are literally putting a band-aid on a deep wound that's infected. You are putting a band-aid over it and saying, why isn't this healing? Why isn't this healing? Because you haven't acknowledged the infection. So many kids are being misdiagnosed and they're not acknowledging the single parent household that they grew up in, as well as the childhood trauma from loss of a parent. It's this crazy cycle of kids being diagnosed and then they go through all these pills and try all these pills and they're feeling numb and they're like, why don't I feel better? Why don't I feel better? And let me tell you, some diagnosis and some medication is needed. For me, I started taking Lexapro when I was 17, 18. I first had to learn how to manage my emotions. Once I learned that that wasn't quite enough and that there was like a chemical imbalance, then I started taking Lexapro and it helped. It helped me see things way clearer and be more logical in situations. After I'd been through that entire experience, I graduated high school. I learned that I had ADHD, and so I started taking Vyvanse and it helped. I'm not dogging medication, but putting a band-aid on a wound, it numbs the pain, and then kids become addicted and they start pill popping, and you know how that goes. Acknowledging loss of a parent and understanding how loss of a parent may have affected your emotional wellness issues, that's the first step. That's so important. Not beating around the bush, knowing that might be where it started. That's where it started for me. That's where it starts for a lot of people. Week 4, we're going to talk about all the stuff that we learned and what you guys can do with this info and how you can apply these steps to your life. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this was enlightening for you. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you related to or that maybe you didn't even realize as far as loss of a parent in adolescence. I promise once you acknowledge it, oh my gosh, you're gonna feel so much freer and so much more whole as time goes on and healing comes. I promise, promise, promise. Trust me, look at me. I never thought that I'd be the girl that'd be talking about emotional wellness. Who is she? I don't know her. Just kidding, I do. I actually know her. She was just hiding. That was so corny. I hope you have a great rest of your week, a great end of your week, a great beginning of your week, wherever you're gonna start from watching this. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye.